Hey folks, it's Adrienne with Soul Experience 11 here. Welcome back. So this I think will be the last day that I upload on Monday. I will be uploading on Fridays from now on. This is our last Metaphysical Monday. It's just gonna be fun time Friday after this. I'll have to think of something. So let's talk loneliness. Let's talk, I know I'm kind of light here, but let's talk about all the things that nobody ever really wants to talk about. This is shadow work. That's what dealing with those things is. So things like depression, anxiety, unless there's a pathological reason for this, meaning like I keep messing with my hair. I had Graves' disease and I was very anxious all the time and depressed, and so that's very different. That was a pathological reason, but that in and of itself was created due to stress, right? And unresolved issues. So shadow work is really about diving into those parts of yourself, and especially things like loneliness. So I have been going through it in the heart chakra area lately. Like, I'm still wearing my rose quartz, and I think as people we tend to look outside, right? Things happen, things get turbulent in our lives, and we look automatically to others to help us out. Like, we look to friends, we look to family, we look for advice, which is a good thing. We are, after all, beings that have been in tribes for ages. But you're never going to find fulfillment through other people. So if you're lonely, examine that feeling. Why are you feeling lonely? What is it about your situation that makes you feel lonely? Is it a belief that you should have someone in your life? Because if that's the case, then you may continue to choose partners that are not the best for you or for your greater good until you come to that peace, until you come to that realization of self and that you are a whole in and of yourself. So things like depression are a symptom. So you look at that, okay? Like I said, lately I've been doing some serious shadow work and I have been going through it. And that's why I think it's important to talk about this. We go through spiritual awakenings, and I did do a shadow work video on Instagram, but it was a little bit more brief. We go through these spiritual awakenings, and I think that people think that it's smooth sailing, like, oh, I'm awake now and that's good. No. We go through these turbulent periods in our life to be thankful for every traumatic, something that seemed terrible. If you look back at your life and you look at where you are now, you'll see the reason for that happening. Like, as an example, if you've watched my videos, I've spoken before about my dad committing suicide when I was 7. Obviously, that was awful when it happened, right? But it was, let me go ahead and sit back because my back's getting mad at me. It was definitely, looking back, I think, for the greater good, which sounds bizarre and crazy, but I couldn't imagine my life had that not occurred. I would have grown up in Colorado in a completely different environment. And honestly, I don't think that I would have the spiritual or mental strength that I've acquired had things like that not happened. And quote unquote tragedies have happened through my entire life, or what some people would consider tragedies. And for each one of those, yes, I cried. Yes, I was heartbroken. But I took that energy, maybe not right away, maybe I had to have a minute, but I took that energy, I went within, and I really peeled it apart, right? Like an onion. You go through those layers. Why am I feeling this way? What is it about? What triggered this emotion? And once you realize that the answers all lie within your soul, so through meditation and through quiet contemplation and through not trying to run away or escape from those emotions, you can really elevate and you can really raise your vibration, which is what, spiritual awakening and what this whole spiritual movement is all about, right? We all want to raise our vibration, raise the frequency so that this crazy world can become full of love again. And dealing with shadow work and dealing with the ugly parts of yourself is incredibly important. We need that. We need to have that knowledge, right, of what's in our closet. What is it that we're hiding? What is it that we're hiding from ourselves, even on a subconscious level? Because that can affect our relationships, it can affect our business, how we look at, not necessarily business, but how we look at, abundance. It can affect so many things. And so many of these things are subconscious programming that we got from, our parents, and they got it from their parents. So it's the whole, the rich get richer, the poor get poorer, right? Not to put it on that context, but it kind of is. Like, just because you've been given a set of, rules to live by or standards that you're supposed to have, that you should have. There are no shoulds. There are no musts, We have to die. We have to live, we have to breathe, we have to die. Those are the it in the musts department. And I think it's important to remember that you don't have to do anything. And if something is causing you stress and anxiety, well then, step away from that thing. What is it? Or step away from the situation to gain different perspective, to see what it is about that situation that is triggering you so badly. And then look at that trigger, examine it. And again, this is something that I've, through each dark night of the soul, through each, tragedy that unfolded in my life, I ascended in a positive way. And I'm not gonna lie to you, it took years in some cases. Like when my dad passed away, it took me years to come to terms with that. Obviously it was meant to, because during that time I was very solitary. I went through periods where I had friends that I, would hang out with or whatever, but I went through long bouts where I was very solitary. And those are the times that I spiritually grew the most. So don't be afraid to be alone. Don't be afraid to look at the ugly parts of yourself, because they're a part of you as well. And examine them and release them when you're ready. And that is what shadow work is. And it is equally as important as light work. So I hope that helped someone out there. And I love you all. Again, thank you for spending time with me on our last Monday. I will see you on Friday. So you get a 2 for this week. All right. Love you. Bye.